What's up, YouTube? This is your boy again, Yarvo, aka Django 3000 with Sci-Fi Eggheads, man. Hey, thanks for joining me today, and I want to talk to you briefly today, man. I just want to go over this recent episode of Rick and Morty, season 4, episode 8. This was a great episode, man. I'm not the one to talk about cartoons so much, man. I find joy in watching them, man. But sometimes you get these cartoons that are just pure gold, man. And Rick and Morty is one of those cartoons, and I just had to discuss this latest episode, man. Up until this time, I just enjoyed the show because of the content, because it was funny. But this episode I actually get the show now. You know, I actually get what the writers are trying to give the audience, try to tell the audience, try to drive the audience. You know, I understand what they're doing now. You know, this episode started to me with the title. The title of this cartoon was Rick and Morty season 4, episode 8, the Vat of Acid episode. They titled this show Vat of Acid episode for a reason. After watching, I understood why they do it. But they named it this to show just how petty some people could actually be. That they'll keep driving something so minute, something so small, till it just balloons out of control. And the episode's title is one of those things that they use to show you just how petty Rick can be sometimes, man. And it didn't dawn on me that this is actually the driving force of the show. When you watch the show, it's about these two characters, Rick, which is the granddaddy, and his grandson, Morty. Well, Rick supposedly is the protagonist in the show. But you find out he's one of the most horrible guys you'll ever meet in life. He's a bad influence not only on himself and people who surround him, but definitely on his grandson. But you find out that he's actually the protagonist in the cartoon, and the bad guy is Morty's father. Well, Rick being who he is, he pretty much can handle all situations, but he can't handle the situations of his own family. And some of the plight, I think some of the things that comes up in these episodes are how he struggles with some of the most simplest things, but some of the greatest things he can grasp with no problem. But some of the most simple things he can't grasp. And one of the things is he hates to be wrong, or he hates to be he hates for people to call him out on things. And it'll amaze you, man. It would amaze me how far he'll go to write something that's not even wrong, but it makes him look bad. And the episode starts out with the title alone says the Vat of Acid episode. So basically what Rick is doing is just grinding that point home. That's what's bothering him. It's kind of like the episode where the Pirates of the Pancreas episode, where he kept talking about it was a great show because he had something, he was directly involved in it, but nobody actually liked it to ride. This is one of those scenarios again. Well, in this episode, it starts out that Rick and Morty go on this adventure, the trade wares, I should say, with these gangsters, man. And the episode starts out, Rick said, oh, wait a minute. And he wants to impress Morty by showing that he added an auto part feature on his spaceship. And of course, he's like, oh, okay, big deal. And Morty like, hey man, I thought it was a big deal. And then they get into this argument about, what we're finna do is gonna be simple. It's gonna be in and out, no problem whatsoever. All I need you to do is make sure you jump in the same vat of acid that I'm jumping in. Then he gets out the car. And Morty's like, what are you talking about? Vat of acid, man. So he explains to him that, hey, it's a fake vat of acid, blah, 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 this and that. And they get in an argument because he's like, I thought you was a inventor and all this kind of stuff. And Rick explains to Morty, hey, man, you don't think I'm not a good inventor for inventing fake acid and all these different things? They get in this stupid argument, right? Because from that point on, Morty thinks the whole scenario is just dumb. Because it's like, he's thinking in his mind, if it don't go right, we just take what we want. That's how powerful you are, Rick. But Rick wants to go through with this plan because he mapped it out from the beginning to the end. So much so that he actually drives the other guys to act in a certain way to initiate this plan. Okay, they jump in this fake vat of acid, as the title suggests. And when you get down there, when they get in the vat of acid, Rick has all these scenarios mapped out. They're going to fall in the acid. They're going to make fake bones float to the top. Everybody's going to think that they actually died in this whole scenario, right? The whole time he's doing this, man, to convince these gangsters that they've died in this vat of acid, Morty is down there like, why are we doing this stupid thing? And when he brings it out, Rick gets pissed off because he's like, you're not impressed with what I'm doing, and my idea is not stupid. Well, to make a long story short, they go on with this whole idea, and it finds out it didn't work out. Morty ends up getting pissed off. He comes out the ass and he kills the gangsters. Right? They leave the episode arguing. Well, when they get home, they get into another argument about, hey, you always doing stuff, blah, blah, this, you think you're so great, all this kind of stuff. Won't you do something that people can actually believe in? Nobody's ever did the reset button. He's like, I can totally do that. And he's like, no, you can't. So they get into this another argument about who can create a reset button, a life reset button. And to make a long story short, Rick gets so pissed off that he actually creates this device. But if you don't know Rick, he only goes by the beat of his own drum. So just because he made a device, right, it came with a hitch. He's doing all these things that happens after what he does because he's so pissed off with Morty, he want to teach him a lesson. So basically what he does, he creates exactly what Morty wants, but not exactly what he wants. He creates a device that doesn't reset Morty's life after he makes a mistake, but it actually allows him to keep reliving the same moment in different dimensions. And before he gives him this device, he asks Morty, he's petty, man. He said, hey, man, you want me to explain to you how this thing works? Or do you want to go out there and have some fun, man? Basically, what he was saying was, he tried to explain to Morty about the vat of acid. Morty didn't want to listen to it. Morty just wanted to go in there. He was pretty much bored. So he played on that same mentality. He said, I know Morty's not going to listen to me. He does not want to hear what I got to say, so I'm going to let him make his own mistake. Well, here's the sinister part about it. He gives him this device. Morty learns that every time that he hits the reset, every time he makes a mistake, he can hit the reset button. So Morty just started doing all kind of crazy stuff like jumping over potholes. He would pull people's pants down, what have you. But in the course of making all these mistakes, he actually meets the girl of his dreams, and they go through all these hardships together, and find out later on in the episode that this is actually the one for Morty. This could have been his wife, his soulmate, but just so happened after they go through all these traumatic things, after they go through all this love loss and love, all these things that people go through when they're in love, his father picks up the remote to reset, and it actually resets everything that happened. So everything that happened after that point was erased, right? Bad guy. If you guys didn't know it, Jerry is the bad guy of this show. Okay. Goes back to Rick. Tell Rick what happened. Rick said, hey man, everything comes with consequences. Because Morty thought every time you reset, it eliminated whatever consequences life threw at you. But Rick explained to him, said, no man, there were consequences. You just didn't want to understand it. He said, what do you mean? I said, I tried to explain to you, man, but you didn't want it. You want to go have fun. Back to what I was saying. Rick allowed this man to make all these mistakes just so he can prove his point. This man allowed this man to fall in love, could potentially being his wife, his granddaughter-in-law, could have had children with him. He didn't care, man. He allowed him to make all them mistakes just so he could show Morty that, hey, man, when I tell you something, that's how it is. I'm the smartest guy in the universe. You need to listen to what I say. Because after all that happened, he finds out that every time he hit the reset button, he actually wasn't resetting his own life. He was making the same mistake in another dimension, whereas it was another Morty living in that dimension that he had to kill first to take that dimension. Man, it's just hard for me to put it in words, but when I saw it, bro, I said to myself, how evil could you be to another person, man? And he told him about it. He said, hey, man, you killed all those Mortys, man. He said, and then Morty was like, I can't believe you allowed me to kill all these Mortys. He said, hey, man, you wanted to use the device. You didn't want to know how to use it. And furthermore, hey, you were working on your own volition. So as the episode went on, Morty was trying to figure out how he could bring those other Mortys back to life. And then Rick was talking about, he can't bring them back, but I tell you what I can do. I can erase them where they never existed. But hey, you're going to have to take on all those consequences that you made. Morty said, yeah, I'll do that, man, because he wanted to right the wrong. So everything that he did wrong, he actually put back on Morty. So he had to answer for everything he did. So as the episode was drawing to an end, Morty accepted the consequence of everything he did. So the cops were after him. The animal activists were after him. AARP, everybody was after Morty for what he did, because he was doing all kind of stuff. Like he was pushing old people out wheelchairs. He was setting stuff on fire. He did even suicide by cop, man. He was doing all kind of crazy stuff, man. So after he accepted everything that he was supposed to be doing, man, that he did, it came back to, hey, only way to get out of this situation, you got to jump in this vat of acid, man. And I said to myself, this man devised a plan for him because he did not like the plan at the beginning, make him go through all this turmoil just so he had to use the exact same plan to get himself out of trouble. And I said to myself, man, this episode was pure genius, man. I said to myself, this happens all the time. You know, in my line of work, I meet people, man, they cannot admit they were wrong no matter what you say to them, man. They would not admit it. They would go to all these extremes just to say, hey, man, it wasn't me, or I didn't do it. It ain't the reason why I did it. I mean, all these different excuses, man, when they could have just said, yeah, man, that's kind of dumb. That was kind of a dumb idea. But Rick, man, Rick is not going to admit to doing anything wrong, man. So when I saw this episode, man, I just wanted to come on here, man. I wanted to say, man, I finally get it, man. Rick will not admit to being wrong no matter what. And I just love this episode, man. To me, man, if I had to rate all the videos, all the episodes of Rick and Morty that I actually like, this video right here would be my number 2. It'll be my number 2 under Pickle Rick, man. But hey, if you guys hadn't seen it, man, get over there, Cartoon Network, man, check it out, man, and tell me how you like it, man. I love this episode. I finally get it, man. Rick and Morty. Hey, it doesn't mean anything to Rick. Anything what anybody say. The only person that really matters to him, man, is Morty, man. And I didn't know it, man, until I watched this episode. Because Rick can actually do anything he wants to do, man, but he decides to live this life that he has with this little boy, man. And I thought, not only is it's just great entertainment, man, it's just, it just showed the biggest character flaw I ever seen in a character in my whole life, man. This guy right here, man, I just absolutely loved it, man. So, with that being said, I'm glad you guys joined me, man, for my little sci-fi rant, man, with Rick and Morty episode 8, the Vata Acid episode. Man, it was great, man. So, with that being said, hey, guys, join the next time, man. We're going to talk a little bit more about some of the upcoming episodes of Rick and Morty. And, of course, all the other stuff out there in sci-fi land. Of course, my counterpart went with me today. I just decided to drop this video because I saw this episode and it was absolutely hilarious to me, and I just want to get on here and talk about it, man. But with that being said, if it's your first time joining, hey, man, hit that subscribe button, man, and we're going to bring some more content. And until next time, man, join us with Sci-Fi Eggheads. I'm your boy, Django 3000. We out of here. Peace.
Preview.